Good evening from rainy Philadelphia. Unfortunately, the crowds have just decided to open as I step out into the night looking for a cheesesteak because, you know, why not? Food of the gods and all that. So yeah, flight in from Boston was pretty smooth, pretty quick. A lot faster than the advertised time, but I guess they build a lot of slack into the schedule in order to regulate the flights. And it was mostly full. I guess COVID hasn't quite scared off the New England crowd as yet. Been a pretty quiet day all round, in fairness. The Friendly Toast this morning, thank you Darren for the recommendation, was quite good. The one I went to was just behind the hotel in Back Bay. A couple of pictures to come, and I have no idea what I want to actually do here. As I say in my blog, I'm going to probably jump on a tour bus and see much of the city from the upper deck, just like all those annoying types in London, because they even have the big brown buses like they do there. So at least you know where you stand. Ooh, Cheesecake Factory. Can't really say more than that, I'm afraid. It's been a kind of an uneventful 24 hours. About the only exciting time it got was when I got all the looks for that cake in a cup. I brought it through security at the airport and they couldn't decide whether it was a solid or a liquid. Because of course if it was a liquid I had to have chucked it then and there on the spot, but no, they decided it was a solid, so I ate it whilst waiting to board the flight, and haven't eaten anything since, hence my need for cheesesteak. So walking down Walnut Avenue at the moment, and probably be where I want to go imminently. So there's your introductory. More from Boston. Fade out. Today I've done the bus tour of Philadelphia, and here is a photo montage of all the very hastily taken photos I made of the trip. So what did you think of that montage? It was quite difficult at times to get some photos from a moving bus, but there we are. I got the main ones. I got the Thinker, I got the Rocky statue, you're Adrian, and there we are. So it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm currently just crossing, I don't know what's the correct verb in this situation, walking across the Ben Franklin Bridge just to go to Camden in New Jersey. Frankly, just to say, I have been to New Jersey, even if it's only for 15 seconds. So this crosses the Delaware, which we passed on the tour bus. There was some lovely old ships moored up as I think museum ships these days. So there was a ship from the Spanish-American War, the USS Olympia, I think, and some old clipper ship, and World War II battleship. All very good stuff. I wish I had more than just my 48 hours in Philadelphia, but you know, my old motto applies in these situations. It's just more incentive to come back at a later date to sweep up more of the sites. Sun's finally come out after hiding for most of this morning. Yeah, Philadelphia's quite not what I was expecting. I mean, you obviously heard that the recession, the decline in American manufacturing had hit the city pretty hard. This is very much a working class town, as well most of the people I've spoken to on the subject will agree. And you know, absolutely nothing wrong with that. They're very proud of their history here. Almost every street corner has some sort of plaque or historical fact or picture of how the city evolved from the 18th century onwards. Very much like London in that regard. And of course, Philadelphia was the capital of the USA for about, what was it, 10 years before they moved to DC permanently. I think they were probably a bit, I don't know, a bit miffed it's not the capital still. That was a long time ago, but you can see how it could easily be a capital city. If you've ever read any of the Harry Turtledove Timeline 191 books, the one where the South win the Civil War in 12 months by completely annihilating the armies of the North because Special Order 191 is not lost. Philadelphia ultimately becomes the capital of the USA because they can't have a capital under Confederate guns, considering they're in Virginia, just across the river from DC. So yeah, all the buildings like the City Hall, Independence Hall, they all become USA's main institutions. Haven't really got a plan for the rest of the day, which I know is becoming a bit of a familiar refrain, but that's the nature of this trip. It's very unstructured, it's very loose. Effectively pick one activity, maybe two, that I want to do throughout the day, and well, go ahead and do it. It's very noisy, which is why I'm shouting on the bridge. There's traffic below me, there's trains or subway trains kind of below me on the right, and there's a few angry cyclists passing me by on my left. I mean, I don't know if they're angry, but you know, using London as a base comparison, most cyclists are kind of angry. So here we are, here's the view. Not quite Tower Bridge, but I like it. It's different. It's very, very contemporary. What's that say? Oh, it's Chick-fil-A. Ugh, we don't like them. They're evil. Yeah, and the Philadelphia accent puts me very much in mind of the Boston accent, apart from slightly flatter vowels. Although, if you go to the south in both those cities, you can really hear it brought out. It's the difference between, you know, pure Cockney, born in the sound of the Bow Bells, and someone who, I don't know, born and raised in, say, Brixton or Camberwell or what have you. So I'm going to sign off for now. At least, you know, talking to the camera, and I'll probably see you on the other side. And that just about concludes my 20 minutes in New Jersey. It was enough to walk to City Hall in Camden, turn around and come straight back. Not least because in order to get to City Hall, you have to cross the university campus and go outside of school, and the place is just swarming with all sorts of over-energetic kids, and that's off-putting at the best of times. So gonna head back over the Ben Franklin Bridge. I did think about going south to the Walt Whitman Bridge and crossing that back, but apparently that's traffic only, and I couldn't be bothered to get the high-speed train from Camden to Philly, not, you know, when my legs are still working, so it's free. So see you back in PA.